Hey everyone, in this video you will find ideas, tips, and tricks on using the items included in the Waffle Flower Club Kit for February 2024. In the kit you will find multiple strawberries die-n-stencil, sweet plates die, 6 sheets of the new gingham paper, they're double-sided so you have 12 designs to choose from, and the Subsentiments Berry Sweet die cut sheet. The project card includes the ink colors used on Galina samples, and you'll see how she puts the cards together later in this video. With the multiple strawberries die-n-stencil, you can create 2 rows of strawberries at a time. There are guides on the stencil to help you line up the layers. We recommend using a small brush to stencil in the seeds 1 row at a time. You can cut out each row with the die included in this set. These strawberries work well with the sweet plates die. There are 4 sizes of plates that you can make with the sweet plates die. There are 2 layers for each plate. To create a plate, all you need to do is stack the ring layer on top of the circle layer for the 2 round plates. Both the top and bottom layers for the side view plates and bowl are grouped in 1 die. You can stack the plates for a dinner set or use them with more strawberries. Let's see how Galina used these fun new products.
Hello everyone, it's Galina here, and I'm excited to share a couple of ideas using the new SPC kit. This kit comes packed with goodies like a cute strawberry stencil, the new pattern paper, and some dies. I'm going to start making the card using the stencil only to showcase its versatility. I've got my standard A2 size nesting rectangle die ready to go. Simply place the die over the stencil and you can easily line up the pattern you want to create. I choose a 3rd size die from nesting rectangle die set to cut out my white card panel. With the strawberry stencil in place, I'm using red distress ink and blending brush to add light red color. Next I will add some depth to the strawberries with a shader brush number 3. You can find all the inks and papers I'm using in this video on the cover paper sheet that comes with your kit. What I adore most about these multiple series stencils is how they enable you to create a lot of cute images at once, offering endless possibilities for using them separately or together to create a card background as I'm showing here. To add a 3rd row of strawberries to my card background, I simply move the stencil down and apply red ink once more, starting with lighter shade and finishing with a darker one. Moving on to color strawberry leaves. I rely on the helpful guide on the stencil to ensure a perfect alignment. You can see those tiny lines around the strawberry images. For the leaves, I mixed 2 shades of distress ink. I applied a lighter green distress ink using a large regular blending brush. Then, to add shading, I switched to a smaller shader brush number 2 and I used dark green ink. Once again, I moved the stencil to color strawberry seeds, this time using black distress ink. Feel free to use any black ink you may have by your hand for this step. I repeat this process adding black ink through the stencil to all of my strawberries. Next I'll select a pattern paper to match the strawberry card background. Here I have new paper pad in a size for A2 cards, so no trimming is necessary. I opt for one with light red and dark red squares. To make the most of this beautiful paper, I'll do some die cutting. I'll cut out the center of the pattern, saving the inner rectangle for another card. With the pattern paper securely adhered to the A2 size card base, I will foam out the strawberry panel. Also, you will receive a set of pre-cut cute sentiment die cuts with your kit. I want to choose one of them to add on my card. To add more interest to my card, I will add some clear bubbles over the strawberries using Ranger Glossy Accent, aiming for a realistic water droplet effect on strawberries. Here's my finished first card, and it turned out really pretty and cute. Now let's move on to the second card. I'm going to create multicolored strawberries because in real life you can find all shades of warm colors on your fruits. So I will mix some red, yellow and green distress inks on my white paper panel. Instead of adding shading to the strawberries, I will focus on achieving beautiful blending with multiple colors. I'm going to color strawberry leaves with only one green color and seeds with a black distress ink. With just a few steps, I will have a bunch of cute multicolored strawberries ready to go. The coordinating die cuts them all at once, making it easy to line up them over the ink-blended images. For this card, I'm also going to use the big ball die, and I will place my multicolored strawberries into the bowl. So I'm going to cut out a couple of pieces of this bowl from white cardstock. You can leave the bowl die cut as it is, or you can add just a little bit of shading like I'm doing here with gray distress inks. I'm applying them with a shader brush number 3, and if your ink pad gets a bit messy, don't worry, you can clean it up later with a paper towel. The best part of this die cut is that it has a cut line that opens the bowl, so you can place all your fruits, vegetables or any other die cuts inside. This adds extra dimension and makes it more realistic. Also, I want to show you a couple of more options that you can get with your bowl die. In the same way, you can play with other Plaid dies from this set. I cut out a couple of bowl die cuts from different colored cardstock, and just look how easy it is to mix and match all the colors to create a big variety of bowls or plates to pair with your strawberries or any other fruits die cuts. Here's another idea you can try. Use clear vellum with a bowl die to create a transparent glass bowl similar to the ones you may have in your kitchen. For my next card, I decided to kind of mix both types of papers. So I'm placing blue vellum piece over the white paper bowl. Next, I'm going to create a tablecloth for my card. I'm using a light blue pattern paper and I'm placing it over the gray cardstock. I'll trim off the paper just to have a tablecloth on the bottom of the card panel. Then I'm going to put a bowl die cut with strawberry and then Subsentiments on the top of the card. I have so many leftover strawberry die cuts now because they're just easy to make, and I'm going to create more bowls and more cards with them. I place them in the center of my white panel and I added the strawberries in each bowl. Before I move on to my interactive card, let me show you how I finished my first cards. For each card I use clear dots from Waffle Flower's new candy series. I place them over the card panels to a touch of shine and dimension. On the second card, I added a variety of candy dots, mixing and matching two different sets to create a colorful pattern. I also used my white gel pen to add some extra details on the bowls. And remember that leftover piece of red pattern paper? Well, I used it to create another card. I layered it over dark blue cardstock and I added a couple of black enamel dots to finish the card. And now let's move on to the most fun part. I won't go over the ink blending of strawberries again, but I would like to show you how I added texture to them. As you may know, distress ink reacts with water. So after applying a thick layer of dark red distress ink over the stencil, I added water splashes with my paintbrush. Then I carefully picked up the excess ink with a paper towel, creating those lovely white dots all over the strawberries. Next, I'm going to choose a green paper panel for my card. To create a shaker element, I will cut out a circle almost in the center of the card panel. Also, I'm going to make this card panel a little bit smaller using a second die from the nesting rectangle die set. Next, I apply a double-sided adhesive tape to the back of my green pattern paper. Then I will place a clear stage sheet over it. To complete the shaker base, I need to adhere foam strips to the back of the pattern paper. I'm using the thickest foam tape I have from Waffle Flower, and I'm removing the protective sheet from one of the strips to make it more flexible. It's allowing me to shape it into the circle. Now I will add my shaker elements. I'm using some black and red crystals as well as super shiny gold one. Then I'm going to cover up the shaker elements with paper panel. And my shaker is almost done. I just need to decorate it with strawberries. I also attach my black Subsentiment die cuts over the white cardstock to make them pop over the shaker elements. So here's my finished shaker card, and it's super fun, and I love how all the colors look together. It's shiny and cheerful, guaranteed to bring a smile to everyone's face. And here are all my cards made using the new SPC kit from Waffle Flower. It was super fun to create all of these cards, and I have even more ideas that I will share on Waffle Flower's Instagram. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next month. Bye!